Soapery. I know lots of you in other countries will probably be asleep because it is in the late afternoon in Australia. So, but that doesn't matter. I thought, look, I'm just going to go live, and the reason I do this is it's actually so much easier sometimes than uploading and editing. So today all I'm doing is literally going to be cutting some soap, and when I say cutting, I mean just making it beautiful and so on. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, and then I've got to wrap it as well. So this is a little bit of behind the scenes, and I thought all of you may want to just watch what I'm up to, and of course we can have a little chat while I'm doing it. So in front of me I have lots and lots of bars of these, and you can see that they look a little bit rough and not beautiful. So what we're going to do is just, you know, clean up the edges, then we're going to wrap them and stuff like that. So I'll show you how I wrap them, and I'll tell you the different things that I actually use, because there is something inside it once I actually wrap them to help the bar glide to get a perfect finish. So let me pop the camera down, and I am going to show you exactly what I'm up to. So hopefully this helps. So here, like I said, we've got our soap, and basically all I'm going to do is just use, this is a potato peeler. The only thing that's tricky is sometimes you can take off too much at the top. So I suggest when you're doing this, don't buy one of those cheap peelers. Buy one that's a bit more expensive, like a $3 or $4 one, not a $1 one. So you can see the edges look beautiful. There's other machines and things that you can use to get them gorgeous as well, but that's what we're going to do. So these are my lavender. You could probably tell that because they're purple. And now I do have these, so I actually make these on Canva, and then I go and print these out on Vistaprint because it's pretty cheap. If I buy these in, like, I think about 500 lots, they work out to be about 9 cents each, so they're pretty cheap. So, and of course they look beautiful on this paper. The paper I use, so if you're going to print them, this is an A5. So this is an A5 paper, and the paper that I'm actually using, which is from Vistaprint, this is the budget paper, and it's the matte. So it doesn't cost extra. It's just, you know, and you go into flyers. So if you're on Vistaprint, just click into flyers, and then that's the size I design on the horizontal A5. So you can see, I'll show you nice and close. That's what it looks like at the front, and then we put a label on the back. I just put a sticky label on the back. Now, the reason I put the sticky label on the back, well, number one, the customer needs to see it, but number two, the thing that is super important is it will cover any sticky tape or anything we're going to put on here. So it makes it look neat. So now what I do is usually I put this sideways because it's just easier for me to wrap it. Then I cut these papers. Now this is actually baking paper. You can use wax paper, anything else, but it's pretty cheap, easy to get. You can get it from your local shop, and basically I just cut a piece. So I'll show you. This is the roll that I usually use, and let me just pretend we are going to cut some, even though I've cut about 300. So basically we're just going to cut it this size here, so about that size, and it's nothing tricky about it. And then basically when I cut it, then I'm going to be able to cut this into 4s. So you only kind of need that much. And it's not going to cover the whole bar of soap. You don't need it to cover that. You just need it in the center to help the bar of soap glide within the paper. And I'm going to show you what I mean and why I use that as well. So let's put that aside. So like I said, we've got our paper. We've got the little bake-proof paper. So now we're just going to put our soap in the middle, wrap it first in this. So I just hold it with my hand. You don't need to sticky tape or anything like that. Then you got this piece. You're going to wrap it around tight so you can see here. And mine does have a little bit of a giveaway. If you can see, there's like an extra inch or so. My bar is a small bar of 120 grams, in case you want to know. But you can even design like a cigar bar with this. So if you did a cigar one, you could literally get maybe 4 bands within one paper to make it go further. So that's what I suggest. I probably will end up doing one on Canva and do a video for everyone. But you can see it's in here nice and neat. Now we'll turn it upside down. And all we're going to do is hold your fingers on either side to push the middle in. And can you see how that looks like a triangle now? And the reason we do this is to make it neat. So just press it in so it looks like one. Then the back of it you're going to push to the front. And can you see how that looks neat? Can you see that bit there? I'm just pushing that down. And then we'll push the back of it this way. And this way you only need one tiny bit of tape like this. And now that's the tape. And if you can see how neat that looks. And if any of you are in Australia, you will often notice at different department stores, especially the real fancy ones, they actually have soap that is basically what I'm doing. So this is literally how they do it. Obviously, they would have a machine. I doubt that it's done by hand, but that's basically the whole idea. And that's how I do all of mine. So anyone that buys anything wholesale from me, that's literally how they get them. So we've showed that. This is my lily as well. So I do have a lily pond one. And I've already cut the sides of lily pond so you can see here as well. And if you can see this, can you see how it holds easy in my hand? That's why I redesigned them to be this particular size. So, and you know, I thought, look, I'll come on here at the moment because I know lots of businesses are doing it tough. Like, I've really noticed that. I really have. And I don't know whether it's the environment, what's happening in Australia. I really don't know. It's a little bit tricky at the moment, isn't it? Because I've noticed lots of people telling me they haven't done as well as usual. And this month, funny enough, I haven't sold a lot of soap, which usually I do. I've sold lots of candles. Let me tell you how many candles. I've sold 35 candles in February. So that's a bit funny, isn't it? That I've gone from selling, what did we sell last month? Last month, I actually sold 168 bars of soap. So, and this month, I've sold 3. So isn't that funny how, you know, everything changes? Like, we just don't know what's going to change. So if any of you are watching and haven't got your ticket or haven't seen my other website, I actually do hold a conference online, so you can log in from anywhere in the world, and that's coming up in about 4 weeks' time. So I may be a little scarce on videos around that time. And I do have a Zoom tonight with a couple girls that are helping me with the organisation. So shout out to Chrissy and Carly. They're absolute gems. They have been helping me volunteering from the start because there's no money in it. It's just basically to help small businesses. And you would probably see that I've started doing a number of interviews with different businesses. So this week I'm very excited because I'm actually going over virtually, not in person, to the US. So we will be interviewing an amazing company called the Soap Chef. So we'll be doing an interview with them this week, which is very, very exciting. And then after that, I do have another one with another American company as well, which I will be doing some interviews. Each month you will see them. Yes, I am always busy. Oh, hello, my love. Hello, candle making stylist. How are you? Yeah, I just thought that I would just come on here and do a little chat because I'm very busy. You know, look, that one's too small. We'll put that one aside. I know that's too small. I can feel it. I don't even need to weigh it. Yeah, so I just thought, look, I've got to do this. And at the moment, I have, I think, 380 bars of soap that I need to wrap. So I thought rather than sit here, talk to myself and listen to my 14-year-old daughter who's complaining a lot today because it's quite hot in Australia at the moment, I thought, look, let's just go out to the studio, wrap all of these up, and my daughter can stay inside and watch whatever teenagers watch on TV. So, because like I said, she's been a bit of a whinge because it's hot. I think it's like 40 degrees Celsius today in Australia. That one hasn't been fixed, so we will just do the sides. I did actually, a number of these I've already finished doing the sides of them. And if you can see, lots of people asked to see my logo. That's a stamp as well, but I think the lady that did it, I'm not sure if she's still got her business, but it was an American lady that did it for me, and it was called the Crafty Burrito on Etsy. So you can look her up, but I'm just not sure if she's making them because she made me a couple years ago now. But anyway, that's for my stamping. And as I was saying before, so if any of you haven't got your tickets to the conference, make sure you go over and support me over there. And it doesn't matter what country, and you can zoom in and you'll see the guest speakers. You will see them. So we do have some that are virtual speakers and some that are in person. So that's very exciting this year. I can't wait to see everybody. So if you need Shopify help, we definitely have an amazing company that's going to be helping us with the Shopify accounts, and then there'll be some links to her site as well. So that's a really good company. Also, Soy and Shea will be there. Lots of you probably know Keely from Soy and Shea. She also has a YouTube channel like me. And before I even had my channel, I used to watch Keely. So it's funny, isn't it? You know, how the world goes around, and I never thought that I would be in this position, you know, behind the camera. Never entered my mind. And, you know, I was saying to my husband the other day, because a number of you have been so sweet and have said to me, you've all said you've noticed that I'm getting close to the 10,000 subscribers. And I really don't look at the subscribe list that often, to be honest. Maybe once a fortnight or something I look at it. And sometimes you guys all fill me in on how close we're getting. But, you know, I said to my husband the other night, would you have ever thought we would get 10,000 subscribers? And he said, no way. He goes, I never thought that at all. Sorry, darling, I didn't see your comment. It flashed on and it flashed off, so you can write it again, and then hopefully I can see it. I'm not sure whether the name was Angela, but I'm happy to answer if you like, and because I wasn't looking at the camera, I was too busy blabbering. So and hopefully you guys have seen my latest I just did an interview with an amazing Tassie company, which is in Australia. So hopefully you can go over and see that, which is called Natural Quench. And they just have some really beautiful ideas, and I love their idea. So make sure you go and check them over on my last video after you watch me today, of course. And I'm sure that you'll love it. And, you know, like I said, each week we're going to bring a new one until we run out of people. But I'm sure that we won't, because lots of people seem really keen to hear about other soapers or candle makers' journey. Oh, you appreciate everything I do. That is so nice. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And, you know, look, I'm going to say this, Angela, you know, and people will laugh at me, I'm sure. But, you know, there's many times that I sit here and think, God, I'm not good at doing this. Why am I doing this? You know, so, look, I'm just like everyone else. I ask myself all the time, you know, I think, oh, why am I doing this? Nobody really wants to watch. And, you know, like, so we all have those doubts in our mind. I did this soap wrong, so I have to unpick the back of the little bit of sticky tape while I'm here. I did it too close to the top, so we might have to just fix this one, might we? We'll put one to the side. That one can be done later. Yeah, so many times I do think to myself, oh, you know, why am I doing this? Even with the conference, which is an Australian soaping and candle guild that I've set up, it's taken me so much work. I don't make any money at all out of it. It's just to help people. But can I tell you, it's been really hard to set that up and to get people on board. So if you want to support something and want to keep that going, please support us. You can watch us online. It does cost money. You have to buy a ticket. So it's a secure ticket. It's run through an app on Shopify. So you can just go over there, which is called the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference.com. And then, of course, you can buy your online ticket, or you can be in person if you'd like to be in person. The ticket sales in, I think it's by the 10th of March will stop running. Yeah. Oh, thank you, love. Yeah, and that's the funny thing, you know. People watch me on here, and, you know, I've said this quite a lot of times, friends. You know, a lot of people think because I'm on here that, you know, I earn 100,000 a year or something like that. I definitely don't. Definitely do not earn anything like that. I earn under 50,000 a year. That's Australian, so that's I probably earn 50,000 American, maybe if I've got the sums right, around that. But I did do a video, and I'm always honest and tell you what my takings are, because hopefully that sort of gives somebody some understanding of what you actually can earn with making soap and candles, and I'm very small, and to be honest, I put all of my time in this conference, which means my business is not growing like it should. If I stopped doing the conference, it would. And honestly, everybody, if we don't keep selling tickets, if people don't get on board and support us on it, we won't keep going. Like, we can't go and keep doing it for free. Like, we need to actually make money, because at the moment I'm running at a loss. Every year it's a loss. So this is the second year I've done it. And, you know, because it's not just the tickets, the website that I have through Shopify, I think I worked out that with the extra app on it ends up costing me about $600 a year. So really expensive. And not to mention, of course, you know, I've got to pay for the meals and everything else. And that's where the money for the tickets actually goes, to pay for all of those things. And you also do get a book with recipes and things like that in it as well. It's an ebook for people that are buying a ticket online. So like I said, once again, it's called the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference. How long have I been in business? I think, let me think. Well, for this business in particular, I think it's 4 years. So I think around 4 years. But I did 100 videos on YouTube before I made 1 cent. So yeah, so it was my 101 videos that started making money. Before that, honestly, I made no money at all. You know, I can promise you that. I definitely made no money, which is a bit, you know, it's a bit hard, because you're doing all of this. You need to make money because, you know, we've all got bills, whether it's rent, a mortgage. You know, even if you're with a partner and they're paying the bulk of the bill, you still got to make some money to buy products and things like that. I mean, I'm lucky because my husband does have a good job, and he pays pretty much for the house, and then I pay to try and build this business. But it's really hard, and I'm 50 years old. So, you know, but don't let that stop you. I talk to people that are in their 70s starting up a soap business. So, you know, there's many things you can do. And when you start, you may start just making soap. And then I promise you, you'll probably end up making lotions, lip balms, candles. Some people in this industry make earrings and stuff like that, because it's just a creative outlet. You know, it might be bars of, you know, like the melt bars as well. That's something that a lot of people make. And if I'm really honest, the amount of money, if wholesale, where I make my money is usually on smaller candles and also soap. So soap is a big one. But was it last month, I think? Last month, I think I sold 73 lip balms wholesale. So it goes to show you lip balms are a big seller because they're not very expensive. And if any of you want any of my recipes and I don't put them online, it just means that they're over on Patreon. And people that go over to Patreon and join over there, they do actually get a book after they've been there for 6 months or they're at the highest level. They get a 30-page book that I've designed, and it has recipes. It also has planning sheets, you know, a bit about success, a bit about branding. So there is lots of information. I do spend a lot of time behind the scenes doing all of those. There's also a suppliers list on that book. So if you want that, as I said, just go over to Patreon. And it depends on, you know, how much you want to pay for Patreon. But I have ones from $5 up to $50. There is a number of people even on the $50 level each month. So, and you can join any time now on Patreon too. It used to be that you had to join on the 1st, otherwise they charged you twice, but now they don't. Whatever day you choose. So if you sign up today, they won't charge you again until the same day next month. So that's basically how it works. You just pay for the month in advance, whether it's $7, $5. But the most common one is the $10 plan. So to be really honest, you're pretty much going to get everything for that. You'll get all the recipes and stuff like that. So, but you know, you can read through all of that if you like as well. And I hope that you do all enjoy my Patreon, because you know, I say this all the time. When I started this, I never thought I'd have a Patreon or a conference or whatever. But as I said before, if the conference, if we don't get more people buying tickets in person or online, then this will be the last year, and I hope it's not, because we have actually had people buy tickets for next year, so we probably will go ahead next year as well. Sorry, I shouldn't say this year, next year too, because people have bought tickets. Because at the moment, the tickets for that are actually on sale, so I think they're 30% off for next year, and maybe, no, 35% off, I think, for next year, which is the most we ever do. And this year, for this year, I think they're 25% off, something like that anyway. And you also get a goodie bag as well, which is really good. The suppliers will actually give bags out. So this year we have some soap dough from Pimp My Soap that will be given out as well. What else do we have? I'm going to give something that I make, some, I don't know, actually, I'm going to say maybe it was a diffuser, but anyway, so I will give something as well, and lots of people will give lots of presents and things like that, so that's really nice, isn't it? And you will also get the recipe from Keely from Soy and Shea. She's going to give her lotion recipe, and she'll be doing a workshop, so if you want to see that in person, you can definitely see that in person, or if you've got the tickets online, you'll see it online as well. So hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know what your thoughts are on coming to that or not coming, because I'd love to know that. That's actually really good feedback for me, to know that I'm doing the right thing with that as well. But as you can see, we've already done lots of this soap, and I still have heaps more because I haven't even cut these ones. These are actually my lavender. I've already wrapped some behind me, but today I think I have 300 and something bars to wrap. Actually, I better not do that one, but no, because I might mix it up with the wrong one. Yeah, so I have so many bars to wrap. It's absolutely crazy. So for anyone that wants to know, I did not start making this in slabs. I started making it in little loaves that only had 5, like, you know, I used to make 5 bars of soap in one go when I first started. But now I do them in slabs of 7 odd kilo or 6.5 kilos each slab, which makes about 65 bars. So that's what I'm doing. And you're going to see me wholesaling a lot more, because my goal is for me to have a beautiful pink store. I'm really, really hoping, my fingers are crossed, that I can do that next year. I was hoping this year, but I just don't think I will with the economy. The economy is very bad at the moment. So I just don't think I'll be able to have my store this year, which is really a little bit sad, isn't it? But anyway, we've got to be realistic. I need some more money in the bank before I can go and open up a shop. So if anyone is thinking of opening a shop, I definitely suggest you have at least 6 months rent sitting there before you open a shop, because opening a shop is extremely expensive. I think I did do a video on that, because I have actually owned shops before, and you know, most people are going to lease it, they're not going to buy the shop. And that's pretty expensive. Oh, and actually something you're going to see me do soon, which I think I might have said something, I can't remember, but I'm actually going to be making some beautiful products from a new product. So I want to make my own candle jars, because I want mine to be really unique, that aren't like anyone else's. So, and I'm going to kind of do like a coloured marble look, I'm thinking. I might change my mind. But yeah, but that's basically what I'm going to be doing. And that's a little bit exciting, isn't it? So I have some new scents coming out. One's a cactus natural kind of scent. And then I do have lots of other ones. But anyway, and I do have a natural, really cool kind of patchouli type scent, which is going to come out soon as well. So you will get to see all of that and see what I'm up to with all of that. So yeah, so I'm really busy doing those jars, and I'm actually going to be making them out of a new product. And this new product that I'm actually going to be using is, it's not cemental, because that was too hard to get in Australia. So it's actually called Hydrostone. And Hydrostone is like a casting one, so it's a cement slash plaster. And the same as Cemental isn't just cement. It usually does have plaster of Paris and things like that in it. So it has a little bit extra, because cement, which I found this out on my journey, is not just cement in a bag. You have to have other products in it to make it cast properly and be really tough for a jar. So yeah, so it's been a really big learning curve for me, like a massive learning curve when you know, I started down the route of jars. So I've ordered my new tulip jars, and I think they're going to be around the 210 grams, my new jars. And I've actually got the molds from a company in Australia called Lee Molds, and they're not cheap either. Those molds, I think, have come to about $63 for one mold with shipping, so it's not cheap. But I'm going to test the one out that I like. If I like it, I might get them to print my logo on the side of them. And what actually happens is they can make a mold and your name is already in the mold, but that costs almost $500 just for the setup of that. So it's really, really expensive. But I guess once you have it, that's it, isn't it? You know, and then you don't need to do it again. But I thought, look, I'll just try out the mold first before I go down the avenue of paying that, because I really can't afford that at the moment, which is a bit sad, isn't it? So, but, you know, all the people that are on Patreon, I know lots of you are on there, you know, and I have to really give a shout out to all of you and say a huge thank you, because honestly, Patreon is what keeps me going, because the funding I get from that helps me to make things, helps me to make videos, because when I'm making videos, it just, you know, it obviously helps everyone else. You can see what I'm doing and, you know, what I'm up to. So I really hope, like I say all the time, I do hope that my videos help, you know, maybe are inspiring as well. You know, just to show you that it's not easy. This is not an easy business, everyone. This is not get rich quick kind of business. It really isn't. It does take years. So if you're started and you're not selling anything, you'll be like everyone else at the moment. And lots of people are telling me they sell pretty much next to nothing at the moment, because in Australia, the interest rates, I think, have just gone up yet again, the third time. And they were saying they may go up to 6 times. I was listening to a program the other day. So that's very sad for Australia. We are going to be in very hard times for people with those big mortgages, because the banks were giving people all these mortgages and now they're having to pay thousands of dollars every month for a house. And they say the average home in Australia is close to $1 million. So, which I think that would be right. I think those, yeah, I do 100% think that's right. So as I said at the start, for anyone that didn't catch me, I will be doing some more business interviews to try and help all of you get out there. And so if any of you think that, you know, somebody may be interested in how you started your business, you know, whether you're a candle business, soap business, it doesn't matter. Reach out to me. So if you're on Patreon, just message me through Patreon, or you can also message me through my website. If you go to my website, you will see that there is a little link where you can message me on there. There is like a little message button. And if anyone sends me spam, I usually don't reply. So, because I get lots of bots. I think they are just trying to sell me stuff, which is very annoying. But anyway, that's what I've been up to at the moment. So I know this isn't the most exciting thing in the world to watch, me just wrap bars of soap. But let's be honest, this is a part of soap making. I mean, you know, and even if you're not wrapping them and you're doing the cigar bars, bands, it's still the same thing. I mean, you've still got to, you know, you've still got to go and make them, wrap them around. And honestly, if I wasn't filming this, I'd be really fast. Usually I'm pretty fast. I can do several hundred bars every day, you know, wrapping them up. So it really doesn't take that long. You get real fast at it, because I've had a few people say, oh, that it looks like so much work. And it does. But, you know, look, let's be honest. Would you rather buy this or would you rather buy this? I mean, I would rather buy this because it looks pretty. And that's the thing. People, you know, they're willing to spend if it looks good. And they do say packaging is 50%, don't they, of the end result. So people aren't going to pay if it doesn't look good. So if your packaging isn't good, you know, people aren't going to buy that. So do remember that when you're creating your packaging, everybody. It's really important to make sure that your packaging looks good. And at the start, mine didn't. That's why I didn't sell anything. And I know it was the packaging. I couldn't admit that to myself. I kept saying, oh, it's fine, you know, people are being fussy. But it wasn't that. It was me. It was that my packaging wasn't good at the start. So if you're not selling anything, you need to be honest with yourself and have a look at your packaging, and maybe it's not up to scratch. And if it's not, go back to the drawing board. It's okay to admit you need more work on it. I change things all the time, and even the other day I actually started doing some packaging for my whip soap, and then I thought, oh look, that looks like rubbish, so I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and make a new label, because I really don't like the label at all. So anyway, that's my next thing that I'm up to with that. I don't think I'm going to put my whip soaps into boxes, because most things are in boxes that I do, but you know, it's all the way. And you know, look, if someone's trying to sell you packaging and things like that, and you can't afford it at the time, just be honest with yourself and say, no, I'm not getting it, I can't afford it, just wait a bit longer. That's what I do, even though I really want it. You know, if things are tough, you got to just wait, don't you? Anyway, I'm sure that I've taken up enough of your time. Like I said, just go over and check me out on my website, which is nelsonsoapery.com. You can also check me out on Patreon. You can easily join up on Patreon. The links should be at the top of my YouTube channel. And if you want to come to our conference, go over there and check that out as well, which is the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference.com. And you'll be able to buy a ticket online if you want to. And we are giving away a KitchenAid this year, which is very exciting. It will be shipped directly to your door. So whoever's going to win that will be a very, very lucky person, won't they? Anyway, I will let all of you go, my friends, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.